Thank you. Well, we've definitely been having some fun here, right here in our hometown, Orange County. First of all, before I get started, I want to thank all of you for listening to me today, but don't you think Richard and his team deserve a big applaud for what they're doing for our business community? These guys are second to none in their business. So I'm here to share with you my personal story of what I've learned over my 4 careers. That's right, 4 careers. My first was a carpenter. You heard a little bit of the story. I'll expand on it. So I started working with my stepdad when I was 12, working weekends, remodeling old homes. He taught me how to hang doors, how to pour concrete, how to fix windows, build stairs, hang drywall, you name it. I really enjoyed doing it. It was, at a young age, gave me a great sense of accomplishment. Imagine that, 12 to 18 years old. But my real dream was to become an architect, to design great buildings. All my classes in high school were targeted towards architecture, but when the time came, the money wasn't there. I'm not really sure I was even ready, but what I really wanted to do was go build things. So what did I do? I joined the Carpenters Union when I was 18. I was fortunate. I really loved what I did. I loved to build things. Loving what you do is important, especially if you're going to spend so much of your life doing your craft. That was my lesson number 1. But my second career was a building contractor. I started my company when I was 22 by building room additions on homes. In the Sunday paper, I ran a half-page ad in the real estate section that said, "Why move when you can improve?" And so you can imagine me showing up on a sales call at the ripe age of 22 or 23, convincing a family that I'm going to tear off the roof of your house and add a second story to it. By the way, while you're living there, okay? But I built many room additions. I drew the plans, I got the permits, and I built lots of them. It was the start of my company. And then I met a friend who introduced me to Sonny Bono, the famous singer and songwriter we all know. He was taking over an old little hamburger restaurant on Melrose in Hollywood. I remodeled that building into an amazing Italian restaurant called Bono. Very creative. And it opened to all the glory of Hollywood. Looking back, it was a great experience for me personally. And then Sonny introduced me to his friend who hired my company to build restaurants across the country. Today, R.D. Olson Construction has built over 300 restaurants across the country, as well as 100 hotels, making it the most active hospitality builder on the West Coast. And I'm very, very proud of that and that team. But it's not always easy. Midway through this career, we veered off from our focus. We started building buildings that were not familiar to us, and we lost our butts big time. Almost going out of business? Really? Going out of business? What does that look like? I pulled my team together, and we saved our company together. We came back to our roots and doubled down on our specialty, hospitality construction, and we've never looked back. What I learned from this was to stay with your vision. Never let anyone take you away from that vision. Always keep your vision in focus. Soon after that, I joined YPO, Young Presidents Organization. A number of my fellow members are here, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made for my personal development. Probably is the number 1. But being around so many great minds and educated people, I decided I wanted to go back and finish my own education. I was able to convince USC with no undergrad to let me into the business school to earn my MBA. And so it was really an eye-opening experience. But it really taught me that what I learned the most, that the things that we were doing right. But better yet, it gave me the confidence to move into my third career. That was what is real estate developer. After building for developers and operators as strictly a contractor, I was confident that we had what it would take to be a successful real estate developer, given our experience building restaurants and hotels across the country for some of the most respected hospitality leaders in our industry. The idea was to build hotels and then sell them when they were done. Great model. So the first 3 hotels I started two were in Anaheim, 1 in Irvine, right here, actually across the street. As you exit, you'll see the Irvine Residence Inn 8-story building. That was one of the 3. And so 400 rooms in Anaheim, 174 rooms here, both concrete, all 3 concrete high-rise construction, complicated projects. And then Irvine opened 6 weeks before 9/11. Shortly thereafter, Anaheim opened, and here I was, fortunately, had pre-sold Anaheim, but I'd rolled all my profits into Irvine, and as well as most of my cash. It was not a good time to be in the hotel business. But I held on. I was confident that what we created would succeed over time. We had taken the Marriott Residence Inn brand to a completely new level, building an 8-story hotel using a leading architect and interior designers to create a full-service hotel, giving customers what they wanted in current design that collaborates the history and location of the hotel while creating a sense of place. It's true today what we're doing. When Bill Marriott came out to see what all the fuss was of this fair-haired kid in Irvine and what he was doing, you know what he said to me? "You're going to be a great success, Bob Olson." This is like 6 weeks after 9/11. So hearing that just gave me even more confidence to hold on, and I did. And what I learned here was perseverance. When you love what you do and you have confidence in what you are doing, your vision, you hold on, even in hard times. And I'll say especially in hard times. It's called perseverance. And so we continued to develop and improve what we were doing in the hotel industry. We refined what we were giving our hotel customers and put even more focus on delivering a sense of place. But the experience of owning my first hotel, the one I kept, still own it today, that Residence Inn by Marriott, is what drew me to my 4th career. What's that? And that's owning hotels. Owning that Residence Inn property and learning about how to be an owner gave me the confidence to hold what we built. And that's what we've been doing over the past 5 years or more. Mind you, hotels aren't normal real estate. They're unique. Our tenants renew their leases every day. It's a real operating business with many complicated components that include food and beverage, conferences, spa, retail, and yes, hotel rooms too. And how do you sell this product? How do you compare yourself to the competitive set? How do you differentiate yourself? So we've been breaking the rules of what the old hotel model used to be and recreating and delivering what the guests actually want. And as you heard earlier, getting rid of what they don't. So it's the outsider viewpoint of what's possible in our space to deliver those services. Our 3 recent examples you saw here just a minute ago of what we're doing today are right here in Orange County. We develop in the western U.S. and Hawaii, but right here in our hometown is what's fun to share with all of you. The Huntington Beach, Paseo and Hotel and Spa celebrates the beach and surf culture with a very hip and cool design, both inside and out. A rooftop bar, great pool scene, Polynesian themed spa, innovative meeting space, and you name it. I was proud to walk Bill Marriott through that hotel, and I loved his comments, but it's not even a Marriott hotel. So to me, that was probably one of the best compliments you can get. And then there's the Irvine Spectrum full-service Marriott Hotel, 16-story, the mother brand of Marriott. We worked with Marriott to recreate this brand while celebrating the history of the Irvine Ranch. This hotel includes a rooftop lounge on the 16th floor, a hotel lobby bar that brings the outside pool and fire pits all together, with 271 rooms that give the guests all the convenience of home and actually more than what they get at home. And then our coveted little Lido House Hotel. It's a recreation of my home on Balboa Island in a Nantucket look and feel that we call Newport Nautical. Lido House gives a sense of place by celebrating everything Newport has to offer, our history, the beach and boating culture, our famous locals, and more. A great rooftop lounge, restaurant and bar, spa, pool scene, and 5 cottages designed by 5 different designers, Newport Beach design firms. Those are a hit. Lido House draws 90% of its food and beverage revenue from its locals. It's where people want to be. But it's not normal for hotels to attract locals for their restaurants and lounges. And that's exactly what all 3 of these hotels do. It's a treat imagine being a hotel guest, and when you check in and stay, that you go down to the restaurant or the lounge, and the locals are there. 90% of the people that are there are the locals. It's really kind of a cool place to stay. And to me, when we have our guests come back, a business guest comes back for a leisure weekend to enjoy the property, to me, that's a big success for both business and leisure. And then my even favorite is when we have our locals come for a staycation to stay in our hotel. To me, that's a sign of acknowledgement that we're delivering what the customer wants. So the lessons learned as a hotel owner is that yes, you can reimagine an industry and be successful at doing it. I'm not a hotel school graduate. I've never worked a day in a hotel. But I love hospitality. Does that make me an expert? Hardly. But you tell me, go visit these hotels, go to our rooftop bar, in any 3 of them. I think you'll find that we've done a good job. It just takes, it's true, you can recreate an industry, it just takes vision and execution. I'm fortunate, you heard earlier, one of my most proud achievements is putting together the best talent in our industry. In all of our companies, R.D. Olson Construction, R.D. Olson Development, and now R.D. Olson Investments. With the people that have a passion, big passion for what they do, the commitment to being the best in our respective businesses, and to lead our industries in the construction, development, and investment of hotels. And finally, I'll just tell you that we all need purpose. Purpose can come from many avenues for each of us. Mine comes from my kids. I'm proud to say I have 4 great kids that are all unique and wonderful people. Bobby, Melissa, Charlotte, and Sutton. This is where I get my purpose. So that's my story, a story about how to start as a carpenter and end up as a hotel owner. I'm often asked, could you do it again, or could someone else? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It may be a different path, but we live in the best entrepreneurial environment in the world, right here in Orange County. Yes, there are difficulties all around us, but entrepreneurs will find the path. They'll get through all the traps and make their vision come together. It's who we are. It's who all of you are, the ones who are here celebrating today. So thank you for listening to my story. We all have our entrepreneurial paths to share. They're all unique and special to the people we surround ourselves with. Congratulations to all of you entrepreneurs in this room for getting this far today. It's not easy, I know. But our stories, they never end, at least until we leave this planet. Until then, my story won't end, and neither will yours. Richard, thank you again, and Orange County Business Journal, for putting this event together. Thank you all for listening to my story.